Welcome back to Logan Toxic, the man who rocks. I got my complete Blu-ray DVD Criterion collection right in front of me. I'm going to show you cats all my Criterions that I have. I'm a strong Criterion collection collector. I don't have, there's a lot of people that have more than me, but I think I have a pretty decent amount, so I wanted to show you guys real quick. So I'm going to show you guys the box sets first. You know, they're the money shots, and let's get to it. First up, we got Josef von Sternberg's 3-movie collection, the 3 silent classics. I love this set. It's not a print now, unfortunately, but it's really nice. They all come in like individual little mini booklets. And yeah, this is probably my favorite one out of the whole three film set, The Last Command. Yeah, I'm a huge Josef von Sternberg fan. Not too many people know who he is, but I'm really glad I got this set. Next up, I got, and I'm not gonna be able to pronounce all these guys' names, okay? So don't get mad at me. Got Louis Malle. 3-disc set on DVD. I believe this is all print too, but I've been feeling this will be coming on Blu-ray pretty soon. And yeah, Murmur of the Heart is one of my favorites in this collection. It comes with 3 complete DVD cases, and yeah, it's a pretty awesome set. It has to deal with World War II, I believe, most of them. I think all 3 of them have to deal with like youth and living during the war and stuff like that. It's a really great set. I think most of these movies are on Hulu Plus if you want to check them out. Awesome set. The next up, I got the, this is the very first thing I bought from Criterion, I believe. It's like volume 1 of the Essential Art House set. And yeah, you discover a lot of films this way. Like you got Rashomon on here, Wild Strawberries by Bergman, Grand Illusion, Beauty and the Beast, Lord of the Flies, that just got a Blu-ray release not too long ago. Pretty nice set. I don't know if they still make these anymore. They might, but awesome set. Then move on to my Blu-ray sets. I got the Jacques Tati set. This is like their latest Blu-ray set, I believe. This is a really popular set, actually. It has a lot of great movies on it, like Playtime, Parade, Holiday. Yeah, I've only seen a couple of these so far. I really have to watch more of them. But you know, it comes with a booklet, and they all come in individual sleeves like this, kind of like the Von Sternberg set. So pretty sweet set. Highly recommend it. Then I got the Jacques Demy set. This thing's loaded as well. It's a little more thicker than the TD set. I liked all these films, really. Like the Umbrellas of Cherbourg is my favorite. It's probably his most popular one too. Highly recommend it just for this movie alone. You can get these sets for under $50 during the Criterion sale too, so don't shy away of the price tag now. You just have to wait and pick your battles for these sets. And yeah, another awesome set. Then of course, the coolest thing that they probably ever released and ever will release probably is the Zatoichi set. Awesome movies about a blind samurai going through Japan, just like fighting drug lords and you know, helping the poor, helping kids. I watched there's about 25 movies in this set, and I watched about half of them so far. You know, it's really beautiful. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this a lot, but it's the Blu-ray and DVD set. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I've seen about up to 13, I think, and I really enjoy all of them. There has not been the bad one yet. So once again, you have to wait for the Barnes & Noble sale, the 50% off sale, to snake something like this, because this thing is really expensive. And wait till like Black Friday too, and you get like a 40-50% off on top of the 50%. So yeah, because I think I snagged this for like $60. It's a great set. Those are all my sets, and now I'll move on to like what I consider like smaller box sets, but you know, there's individual movies. But first up is Fanny and Alexandra by Ingmar Bergman. This is a very touching movie. It was kind of like an autobiography of Bergman, the director himself, when he was a kid growing up, because he had like a preacher or stepdad that was sort of abusive towards him. And yeah, it was a really great, this is like his last great movie, one of the best picture, I believe, for best foreign film too. So yeah, it's a really nice set. There's like 2 different cuts. There's like a 5-hour cut and there's like a 3-hour cut. I unfortunately just watched the 3-hour cut. It was pretty good, but it was kind of like all over the place, to tell you the truth. Like, it didn't quite, it seems like they cut a lot out of it. So I highly recommend watching the 5-hour set, 5-hour cut, even though it's 5 hours long. You know, it's pretty long, but really enjoyed it. And then I finally picked up El Surpasso. I picked this up a little bit ago. And it's really nice. It's like it's like the very first like road comedy type movie. I recommend it. It kind of felt like a Fellini movie too. So yeah, definitely a nice set. Then of course, probably the coolest cover art of all of Criterion is the Repo Man. You gotta love this cover art. It's freaking fantastic. This is Emilio Estevez's, I think it's his first movie or one of his first movies. And, it's directed by Alex Cox. It's really punkish. Not everybody liked this movie. I think a lot of people think it's kind of slow or boring, but I enjoyed it a lot. I think it's a great movie. But yeah, I can see people's complaints with it. But, this is an 80s punk movie, and you gotta love it. Then I got the vampire set. I don't know if this is a print or not. I'm not quite sure. Some people say it is, some people say it isn't. But yeah, this is a really awesome set. It's thick. It has the original book that the movie's based on. It's really slow. I wouldn't even. I don't think I'll probably ever watch this movie again. Honestly, it was kind of hard for me to get through, and I watched a lot of silent movies, so I don't know if I necessarily like the style of it, but a lot of people do, and it's a really good looking set. Next up, Red River. This also comes with the book the movie was based off of. I really enjoyed this movie with John Wayne and Montgomery Clift, directed by Howard Hawks. This is it's like the very first cattle drive movie, or one of the first cattle drive movies across. I think it was the Missouri River or Mississippi River. I'm not quite sure. Or no, the Red River. Obviously, the Red River. I'm an idiot, but yeah, it's a really great movie. It's not the typical John Wayne type movie. He's not exactly the great guy or the main good guy, but it's kind of like a anti-hero type film. Highly recommend it. Soundtrack's really cool. It's like a folktale almost. Definitely check it out. Next up, of course, one of the all-time greats, Seven Samurai, directed by Kurosawa. If you haven't seen it, I mean, people are intimidated by this movie just because it's so long and it's supposed to be so great. It's kind of like people trying to watch Gone with the Wind. But, just strap on your seatbelts and just go for it, Buy a bottle of wine. I mean, I drink so much wine watching Criterion movies, it's ridiculous. Just because they're kind of intimidating and hard to get through at first. But once you watch them, you're amazed by them and you want to watch them over and over again. Because I've seen this movie about 5 times. I mean, Toshiro Mifune's acting in this film is fantastic. Same with him and Rashomon. He's like one of the great. He probably is the greatest Japanese actor of all time. Definitely highly recommend Seven Samurai. Next up is Scanners. Really cool cover art once again. I really like this movie just because I like Cronenberg movies and I really like Michael Ironside. This movie kind of made Michael Ironside famous. He is popular for being the main bad guy. He's a big character actor. You'll recognize him if you saw him. He was the bad guy from Total Recall, Watchers. He was in Super Troopers or Starship Troopers. And yeah, I really dug this. I mean, this movie's pretty slow. It wasn't as good as I remember it, but it was okay. So yeah, I just love Michael Ironside. So there you go. Then of course, probably one of David Cronenberg's best films, The Videodrome. James Wood is fantastic in this movie. It's just grimy and dirty and long live the new flesh. It's about a TV producer trying to look for the next grittiest, most unrated thing that there is, like snuff films and stuff like that. But he dives into a much bigger world. Highly recommend it. If you like The Fly, you might like this one. Then of course you got The Hard Day's Night. This movie's a masterpiece. It's amazing this movie was even made to begin with, because this was at the height of Beatlemania, or right before they bust out huge. I enjoyed it. All the songs, I believe all the songs on the album A Hard Day's Night is in this movie, and it's really great just to watch them and see all the women react to the Beatles. They're just freaking out, crying and stuff, and you really get a sense of how things were back then. Then last up you got Yugitsu. This is directed by a famous director, another Mizoguchi. It's more slow pace. It's like a ghost story with multiple stories, kind of connected, kind of not into it, and I liked it, but I had such high expectations for this movie that I was kind of a letdown personally. But it's a really nice box set because there's separate sleeves and everything. Last up in my book special edition is Jules and Jim. Probably one of my favorite Francois Truffaut films of all time. It's really a toss-up between this and 400 Blows. If you like one, you'll like the other. Give it a try. And then speaking of Truffaut, we got 400 Blows, the movie that made him famous. There's a lot of cool stuff that he does. He's a great director, but he does freeze frame and moments that matter in the film. And it kind of and it has the most famous freeze frame of all time at the end of this film. Where they kind of make important decisions and stuff. I really like how he does it, and this movie's amazing. Then we got Island of Lost Souls. This is like a Dr. Moreau. I think this is the very first like Dr. Moreau movie, the Island of Dr. Moreau type movie. It's really gritty and raw. It was awesome. And it was photographed by Karl Strauss. He did like Dracula. He did a lot of like German expressionism films, so it has like that look to it that I really like. And this movie's just like gritty and for like it's like a pre-code movie. If you're familiar with pre-code movies, man. If you're interested in pre-code movies, definitely check out Island of Lost Souls. This is actually really awesome. Then we got Samya. It's a newer movie from Sweden, I want to say. Yeah, it is the original. It was based off the new Christopher Nolan Samya movie. Not new, but like 15 years ago, he kind of remade this one. I think I almost prefer the Christopher Nolan version over this one. This one was kind of slow and boring to me personally. I didn't really care for it. Next up is The Magician. I love this film. This is one of my favorite Bergman films of all time. You don't know if the main guy is a magician or not, if he actually has magical powers or not, throughout the whole film until the ending, and the ending is really awesome. Highly recommend this if you're interested in getting the Bergman. It's a great introductory movie for you guys. Then of course we got Bergman's masterpiece, The Seventh Seal. I watched this movie so many times and I love every second of it. The dialogue's amazing. It really makes you think, and like the photography is really amazing as well. Really nicely shot. Bud Knight playing chess with death. That really famous scene coming back from the Crusades and questioning life and God and all that stuff. Great movie. Then we got Seconds here. Directed by, I think, John Frankenheimer. I didn't really like this movie. I don't know why. I really like sci-fi movies. I really like older movies, but it just didn't click with me. Then a really cool film noir called Kiss Me Deadly. I liked it. Some of the plot points from Repo Man and I think Pulp Fiction come from Kiss Me Deadly. You have to watch it for yourself. It's great. It's a really great film noir. Then we got a Fritz Lang movie, Ministry of Fear. It was okay, but I got it for like $15, so it was really cheap. Yeah, all the way to it's one of the cheaper Criterions, just because they don't have that many bonus features on it. But yeah, it's just another film noir by Fritz Lang. It's pretty good. Then here's the start of the Powell and Pressburger films, The Life and Death of Colonel Blimp. I really like all of their films. I've seen they're like a great English directors back in like the 40s, 50s. They made a lot of great movies, and they're like kind of groundbreaking movies too. And yeah, this is a really great one. Definitely check it out. It's a long one, but it's very rewarding. Then we got a Hitchcock movie, 39 Steps. This is a great film back when he was in England. I think this might have been his last English movie. It's the great, it's like typical Hitchcock, where a guy kind of stumbles in like this big underground world of espionage, and he's like the wrong man, have to like find a way to like clear his name. Like most of Hitchcock's like adventure movies start off that way. They're all kind of like 39 Steps. Like just think of North by Northwest. It's basically a remake of 39 Steps. Then we got Children of Paradise. This is a really good movie. It was filmed in France during World War II, during occupied France, and the directors had to make it. And the Nazis had to like agree to it and like see if they like passed certain scenes and stuff like that. But it has undertones that you can tell that a lot of like Vive la France, like the French resistance, were a part of this movie. It's a really good movie. People say it's like France is Gone with the Wind. I can see that. I really love Gone with the Wind, so it's hard to see that comparison. But I enjoyed it. It was a really good movie. Next up, probably my most favorite movie in the past 5 years is Frances Ha. I talk about this movie nonstop. It's so good, so great. If you haven't seen it yet, you're totally missing out on a great movie. It's about a woman discovering herself in New York, but she's like a ballerina dancer. And this is like the ultimate feminist movie because the main character is not involved in a like love relationship. It's more about her parting ways with her best friend. And most women movies are about like love and finding love and all that stuff. But Frances Ha dismisses that, and it's a great movie. Soundtrack's amazing and shot very well. Another Hitchcock movie, I love Peter Lorre, The Man Who Knew Too Much. I think this might be Peter Lorre's first movie with Hitchcock. I only made a couple of them, but I love Peter Lorre. But I do prefer his other one with Jimmy Stewart, The Man Who Knew Too Much. This because Doris Day has that famous song in it, and yeah, but it's a really good movie, really good. Then of course we got Charlie Chaplin's City of Lights. This is my favorite Charlie Chaplin movie by far. I just love the story where he kind of helps a blind girl, and he kind of mocks like the class system and stuff like that. It's a great. And there's like that famous boxing scene. That's from City Lights, and yeah, beautiful movie. Then we got Wages of Fear. This guy, what's his name? Clouseau. He was supposed to be like the French Hitchcock as well. But I love Wages of Fear. It's about people delivering like nitroglycerin in like South America, but the roads are all bumpy and they have these not very sturdy trucks. When they're driving, they're like shaking. They could explode any time now, and really great movie. This is a great introductory title too to watch if you guys are curious about Criterion. Just pick up Wages of Fear. The movie's amazing. Then we got another Hitchcock movie, The Lady Vanishes. This is one of my favorite ones because it has the plot deals a lot with on the train, and I love train movies because they're so like claustrophobic and you can't get off the train. You have to stay there and deal with the problem. You can't run away from it. So yeah, Lady Vanishes. Then we got another Paul Persberger movie, The Black Narcissus, or The Black Narcissus. I cannot pronounce this movie, but this is like the very first like non-exploitation movie there is, and it's shot beautifully. Deborah Kerr's in it. It's about nuns like isolated, like in like I think is in like Naples or something like that, and yeah, it's the Himalayas, and yeah, it's shot great, and it's thrilling, and there's a lot of iconic scenes, especially towards the end. Definitely pick this up. Then we got Clark Gable, It Happened One Night, Frank Capra. You gotta love Frank Capra, you gotta love Clark Gable. Put those two together, bam, this movie made Clark Gable famous, so definitely check it out. It's a romantic comedy. Then we got a couple of Jack Nicholson produced movies called The Shooting and Ride in the Wind. Really good films. I really like The Shooting the best, but not everybody's going to like these late 60s westerns. But I did. They're pretty good. Then you got another Cronenberg movie, The Naked Lunch, based off the famous book about The Naked Lunch. And it was okay. And another film that not everybody's going to like, but I liked it. Then I picked up I have a Metropolitan here, directed by Wilt Stillman. It was pretty good. It is very indie, very indie. You can tell it's shot very low budget, but it was just about a bunch of upper class New York people just talking around the couches in their like luxury apartments. But I liked it. Then we got Something Wild. It was good. I like seeing Jeff Daniels as like the main character because I think it's really cool. I don't know, but the ending got a little serious. It was like fun for a lot of this movie until the ending. Then just got serious. It's like, oh, it's one of those movies, I guess. But I recommend it. The Innocence, another Deborah Kerr movie. The cinematography in The Innocence is groundbreaking. It is amazingly beautifully shot. So this is like a ghost story, but I highly recommend you guys picking it up just for the cinematography alone. Then we got Thief. I personally can't stand this movie. It's just James Caan whining the whole time in the movie. I mean, the style of the movie was really nice. The soundtrack, the score was really cool. But I can't get over James Caan just whining in my face for 2 hours about his life and how hard his life is. It just annoyed me. So then we got Ernest Lubitsch film designed for living with Gary Cooper. Really cool. Ernest Lubitsch is a really great director. He does a lot of romantic comedies, and this is one of them from the 30s. Really charming. Highly recommend it. Then we'll move on to more of the DVDs. Another Joseph von Sternberg movie, The Scarlet Empress, one of his best movies. I think this one's the where she's like the Russian revolutionary queen, and Catherine the Great, and it kind of shows how she kind of like became in charge of everything. It was really cool. There's a kind of cool little 20-minute documentary about the world of Joseph von Sternberg on this disc, so that's really cool as well. Then we got one of my two favorite Fellini movies, La Strada. I love La Strada. I love Knights of Cabiria. I mean, that's his wife. The wife's the main character. She basically plays a clown, a assistant to like a great guy that like bends like iron bars. That's Anthony Quinn. And I love La Strada. La Strada and Knights of Cabiria are the best Fellini movies. I can't believe they're not on Blu-ray yet. Then we got 8.5. I liked 8.5, but it was too I don't know, it's too kind of like all about Fellini in this movie, because basically this guy plays the Fellini character, and I don't know, it's kind of a Fellini movie that's self-obsessed with himself. I liked it though, but I don't like it nearly as much as I like La Strada or Knights of Cabiria. Then we got another Kurosawa movie, The Hidden Fortress. There is a Blu-ray release of this. Really great movie. But everybody knows, you know, George Lucas, blah blah blah. Star Wars. This is inspiration for the Star Wars plot. But Mifune was really good in this movie as well. Then I got this one. I've been discovering like W.C. Fields, and I got this one is 6 of his shorts. A couple of them were pretty good. A couple of them were really boring. But you know, I'm glad I got it. Then another Clouseau movie, The Black Raven, or Lee Corbeau. I don't know how to pronounce that. But this movie is one of my favorite Clouseau movies as well. I think it's just as good as Wages of Fear. Definitely check it out. Really great. Then lastly, my last Criterion film is another Kurosawa one, The Bad Sleep Well. This is, you know, Kurosawa discovered like Shakespeare, or like he did a lot of like Shakespearean takes on his movies, and this was his Hamlet. You know, Throne of Blood was like Macbeth, and he had a couple others that were like that are based on Shakespearean plays. And this is like a modern day Hamlet. Really good. Once again, Toshiro Mifune is amazing in it. Definitely highly recommend it. Well, there you go. There's been all my Criterions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll probably be making more videos like this in the future. And make sure to comment. Tell me what you've seen. I mean, has this video help you all decide what kind of Criterion movies you want to pick up in the future? Let me know. Is there any other good Criterion movies out there that you've seen that you don't think I've seen? Mention it below in the comment section. And make sure to thumbs up this video and subscribe. All right. Peace, y'all.